Hello! Welcome to log 95. I just found out that it's thunderstorming right now, and I love thunderstorms, so I'm happy. Okay. Yes. I don't even know how to start with this whole thing, because I was going to just go through like the details of the day, but right as the day started to wind down, I was thinking a little bit. Started to think about a few things, and I was like, oh, that might be significant, but I didn't try to overthink it. So I'm just going to see if those topics come up in my rambling in this log, and we'll see what's up. I do have excellent art news. I don't really have anything to show for it yet, per se, because I didn't fully compile the images after rendering, but Gerald is rendered. I stuck it out just a little bit longer, and I made some digitally painted background textures for him. I can put those up. And it's got a very arcane look to it, and I'm very happy because, oh, I love arcane so much. So the fact that I can actually make something, finally. I can, after years of just only doing 2D stuff, I finally learned how to make 3D stuff, and by the end of this class, I actually ended up being able to make something that was arcane inspired, I'll say, with Gerald. So that's fun, that's cool. I spent like 5 hours in that class, but to be fair, the last hour was me just waiting for it to render because it was 256 frames. Yeah, that's a lot. You know what? No. We'll start with the whole day because I have some things to say. Woke up at 6:30. We did. Woke up at 6:30 and I felt pretty good, actually. Yeah. So happy to say that I think my allergy situation has tamed a little bit now that I realized that I did in fact have allergy medicine in my drawer right there that the solution's been under my nose the whole time. Took a tiny bit and boom, already better. So very thankful for that. I love being able to breathe clearly and normally. Stress aside. But then I woke up and then just like I had a stabbing pain in my eye instead today. So that wasn't great, but also not unusual. It's happened sometimes, just allergy season, just this one corner of my eye. Sometimes it gets too dry. I had contacts yesterday and I was staring at screens and not blinking much, so it happens. So it was annoying, but actually, yeah, no, I had my video call at 9, I think. Yeah, because I did set my alarm for 7:30 instead of 6:30 this morning. Gave myself that little extra hour, and I think that was exactly what I needed, actually. I woke up feeling relatively fresh. And I did have some time to draw just a tiny bit before bed. Just a moderate amount. I went to bed before 1, which really isn't too bad. So I had the call while my eye was like kind of burning. So hopefully she didn't think I was crying. But either way, no, I was like messing with it the whole time. Sometimes I had the call just like with my one eye closed. But the call was good. She had a busy day too, so the videos that were due today have gotten postponed to tomorrow. Did I have time to work on them today? No, because I spent the entire day compiling stuff for the video, for the animation, which I went to basically straight after. But, you know, after the call, right, I was like, you know what, maybe I have some eye drops in my bag, in the bathroom. And I did! Whoa! See, with medicine, I have a complicated relationship with that because I've been to specialist after specialist for my chronic illness, and none of those have ever done anything, so I don't trust them anymore. Because, like, 75% of the time, they don't do anything, and it's just a waste of time. It's, like, false hope. But medicine is actually very useful to do the things it's designed to do. The chronic illness is a tricky situation because it's mental. It's not just like a physical little thing. Granted, you know, mind-body connection, most things are also, in a way, mental, but like, this is a special case. Funny thing. sometime throughout the day, I saw a reel, and it was about like eldest daughters, and all of the comments were like, how many of you have chronic illnesses now? How many of you have autoimmune diseases? And just everyone in the comments are like, me, I have two. So the commiserating thing actually made me feel a lot less alone, a little comforted, like, okay, this isn't as abnormal as I thought. And it's funny because that used to make me less happy. Knowing that there was someone else out there that had a similar condition to me would have made me feel like threatened for some reason, because I had to be, you know, unique, or I had to be the only one with this or that. I didn't want to have someone have something similar. I'm not entirely sure why. I guess it's just I wanted to be different enough to be noticed or something. A lot of attention things. But anyway, getting back to the point. Animation class, great. That was actually my last actual class time in the art building on campus. My two classes tomorrow are in different buildings, so I still have finals in the class in that building, but that was technically the last, you know, walk in for the day, get your food, get your coffee, work on something a little bit. And that is a little bittersweet because the building itself is a brick. It's a piece of junk, more or less. It's one of the oldest buildings on campus, and I think it's the only one that was repurposed. It used to be like an automotive thing, so like there's no air conditioning. The sculpture students down the hall were like casting bronze, so the classroom, like the whole building smelled like burnt plastic for half the class. Yeah. But you do learn to love it. The professors are amazing there. And it's a little community. It's a small building, so you kind of get to know everyone in the halls. And it's homey. It's sweet. I would have preferred this over an art school any day. So it's something that you just learn to love to hate. It's like always complaining about it, but you don't actually hate it. Yeah. Wouldn't want it any other way. So I am going to miss that building, but I'm also glad to be moving on. It's a very, very good balance. Probably the best case scenario, honestly. So, did that, and then I had to run back to the apartment. It rendered just in time, because then my friends and I had to leave to the baseball game, which was cool. I didn't really want to go, per se, because I was like, oh, I have all this work, I have so much work to do. And that, walking down the stairs, is when the thought kind of just occurred to me. Just thinking, like, because, well, I really didn't want to be there. I find baseball games specifically to be extremely boring. I'm more of a hockey watcher, if anything, and even then I'm just not really into sports anymore. Mainly because all of the teams that my family roots for haven't been good for like 20 years. So I've just learned to kind of, I don't know. I enjoy a good live game, but I usually, the sports games are good. They're good background noise. The announcers and the crowds and all that stuff. It's just fun ambience to me. So, anyway, walking down the stairs, I didn't want to be there, so I was thinking of bringing my sketchbook. I was just going through my head like, okay, how can I possibly bring my work to the baseball game so I can just do some work? And that is when I realized, oh, I don't want to do the work to get things done here. Like, yes, that's what I'm telling myself. Like, I have to get this done, I have to get this done. But, like, no. I don't want to be there. Work is my escape. It's my safe space, if you could call it that. It's really just it's a numbing agent, more or less. It's my safety blanket. It's my little hermit crab shell that I could just always, it was always a valid excuse. It was always like socially acceptable to like say, oh, I can't talk anymore. I have to go do this. I have to go do that. It was just always an acceptable response. And then I had a perfect reason to go somewhere and just sit and do art, or like sit in the quiet, or just be alone. Be alone, have people like respect my space, and then I just be able to work on projects. just spend time with myself, more or less. I mean, I guess I'm relatively introverted, but I mean, a lot of the time I spent alone wasn't exactly out of choice, but it's just, I think I understand the reason why the workaholism thing became a thing. 'Cause, like, yeah, looking more at the identity thing with the art versus self, like, art, the work, my projects, my pieces, all of that stuff, it really was. It was a hermit crab shell. It was a place to retreat to. And people, for the most part, respected it. And then I can come out of my shell and be like, hey, look what I made. And then they won't criticize me for being away for so long because, oh, look, I made this. Shiny, flashy colors, look, don't be mad at me. So, just cool. I'm not gonna try and, like, turn all of these things into, like, big epiphanies, because I do think I've been blowing some of these things out of proportion just because I want to feel like, oh, I'm making so much progress. Because, I mean, this whole thing, it's a journey. It's a journey, and I know there's no real end destination here. It's just a better quality of life. So I've been focusing too much on, you know, it's the zoomy voice, focusing too much on the big picture, where it's like, oh, how much progress have I made from here versus there? Where am I in the grand scheme of this progress? Like, am I good enough? Oh, and all these little markers, these little realizations, like, oh, I realized this in week 2, and I realized that in week 4, and I figured that out in they were mile markers to me. It was just evidence that I was moving somewhere. And it was extremely helpful. It was nice. It was comforting, really. But now that the artist's way is over, and I'm just back to, you know, living daily life as myself, just trying to live each day better and healthier at my own pace, I'm kind of starting to reject that idea. Because I was just thinking about some of these things, and I'm like, yeah, I'm just not going to overthink it. There was the habit creeping in, like, oh, okay, we have this, now let's build off of that. But I wasn't getting swept away by that idea. It was just, oh, yeah, that's an option, or I could also just let that sit and just move on with the rest of my day, maybe with that in mind, maybe not, but it's just a little thing. So I think I'm feeling less of a compulsion to overanalyze things, which is so relieving. Right, contemplating work, all of that stuff in the car, and then I checked my email, and I realized to access the tickets, you need to get the app. You can't get it on just a website anymore. It was locked behind an app. And I think more and more places are doing that, and I don't like that. But, so I was like, okay, fine, whatever. I'll go to the App Store. It's locked behind a software update. iOS 18. I have an iPhone. My phone's been running on iOS 16 for years, and I haven't been able to download or update my phone because of lack of storage, because I'm an artist and my camera roll is full of screenshots of art and pictures and videos and animations, and like it's a lot. So storage naturally is a struggle for me. Yeah, so I needed 12 gigabytes of storage to just download the app to access my tickets to the game that I was actively driving to. So, you know, went on a massive storage clearing spree on the car ride there. And I did it. Hopefully I haven't deleted anything I regret. I think I'm okay. Thank you, Google Photos. That's all I'm gonna say. And yeah, so we get there, and I was like, great, time to update my phone. And it's like, oh yeah, do you want to update this on cellular data? I'm probably gonna get charged for that. And yep, but it took like an hour and a half to update. By this point, like, everyone was tailgating, we were sitting there, and I still had my phone in my pocket, like, restarting for the second time. No one else knew, because I think I can handle these kinds of last-minute high-stress situations. If I told anyone else, they would go ballistic. So, for the sake of everyone's nerves, yes, I kept the problem to myself. Also a thing that I learned growing up, because yes, I had a lot of last-minute situations. I had a lot of missing assignments and last-minute projects. I did homework while the teacher was collecting it. It was not on purpose most of the time. It was genuinely me forgetting, but I was smart enough to kind of pick up the slack right then and there, and for the most part, I have suffered no consequences. So, have I learned anything? No. That's not true. I'm procrastinating less and I'm planning more and stuff, but still got that chaotic little situation. I mean, hey, I wanted to be more of a chaotic artist, person, whatever, so I'm living the dream. But anyway, point is, it restarts, I download the app, we're actively walking towards the stadium. I have to make an account on the app then to access my tickets. So I'm putting in my school email, I'm making sure the tickets have been emailed to me, and then it makes me go through email two-factor authentication, and then phone, like a second two-factor authentication. We have like 3 different factors going on here. And while we're in the security line, I finally managed to pull it up, and just in time, I'm like, psh, and I make it through. Yeah, that was a funny story to tell everyone after. And then, of course, we get to the game. We are in our seats. We just sit down. Rain delay. The entire game is postponed till tomorrow. And it's at 5. And I have a workout class at 5 that I will not be missing because it's the last one. It's my favorite class. I've been going there since freshman year consistently. And it's the last class of my college career. So, personally, I will be selfish about that. Yes, I am not missing that for a baseball game I don't actually want to go to. So, I won't be going. So, we get there, go straight back home, and then, yeah, and then I got some extra time to work, but really not too much. I actually didn't work on most other things, actually. I did comics and editing, actually. And economics homework, so I actually didn't even get to, that happens a lot too. I make all this fuss about, I need to work, and then I actually sit down and do it. When I sit down to do it, I don't actually do the thing I say I'm going to do. I just wanted alone time. But then there's the actual project, and I procrastinate on that. I just wanted peace. So, talking for a little bit longer today, but hey, that's alright. It's 11:30. Yeah. And then, yes, okay. So, at the end of the day, we're chilling. And I'm just... There's no interesting way to put this, really, but, I mean, thinking more about rejecting the zoomy voice and whatever, rejecting the need to know what's going on all the time, and just... When I was stressed out of my mind yesterday, and, like, genuinely I couldn't figure out how to slow down my heart rate, I started singing. I started humming to myself, I danced a little dance, and it helped. It absolutely helped. And throughout all of today, I've been thinking about, shifting my mindset to find the fun in this. Because that is honestly when I just feel the most alive. I mean, who doesn't? It's fun. And there's such... This kind of stress, this kind of pressure is such an interesting place. Because it is kind of like the coal, the pressure turning into a diamond. Even though the whole fact that diamonds are, like, a precious metal is, like, a total scam. Learned that in my economics class. Very interesting. But anyway, this kind of pressure if you choose to work under it, if you choose to not get squished by it, and you endure, and you just try your best, and you keep your head up, this kind of thing can be so transformative. I know I used to play tennis in high school, and there was this one week in the summer that was like ultimate training. It was like tryouts more or less, and we'd get up, we'd be there by 7 in the morning as the sun rose, more or less, and it was freezing in the beginning, and then we'd do all of our warm-ups and we'd run, and it would be miserable. There was this one day where it actually started pouring, and our coach still made us play until we heard thunder. We came back and like your socks were squishing in your shoes, and it was just, there were bubbles on the tennis court from like our feet sliding. People were falling left and right, but we were just doing exercises. We weren't really playing tennis, so like we could still keep going. That was yeah, but just the thing is, by the end of that week, and even during it, I made some of the best, most vivid memories. And I was so fit. And I was bonding with my teammates, and like the same way soldiers look back fondly on basic training. Like, yes, it sucked, but there were just these golden moments in it. And because of that experience, you were like just so much more alive after that, and you're just better. And that's why I want to embrace this. This isn't something I want to run from. And honestly, ideally, I would want to be this busy. Well, maybe not this busy, but like, I want to have a level of constant workflow and projects happening in my life. Like, I was just talking about how I want to be able to dance and sing and write and animate and draw and comic, and I have so many things I want to do, and I want to do all of them. So naturally, yes, my life will be in a constant state of just high frequency, I guess. Just, yeah. And I want to be able to sing during it. I want to be able to dance and just embrace the moments. I just have to be, I want to try to be more present in each moment. Because as much as it's like, oh yes, you got a plan, so you could do 2 hours here, 2 hours there, this, that, half the time I don't actually follow those plans. I genuinely don't. I make all the plans to make myself feel better, to make like these commitments, to be like, oh yes, I'll work this and I'll do that, and I'll be okay. But then when the time comes, I don't actually do it because I'm too busy stressing about what I'll do after that. And it's just, this whole situation is just passing me by, and I'm not truly living it. So, I don't know. The point is here. What is the point? I don't know. There doesn't have to be a point. I recognize that this is a very unique time in my life, this last finals week, and I don't know when I'll be under this concentrated pressure again. So I want to just take this and use it to its fullest potential. Because I know I am capable. I don't have any real doubts that I won't be able to do all of this. Like, sure, I'll sacrifice my health here and there, but I don't really want that to be like the constant thing I fall back on. Yeah, I just don't want to spend the whole time stressing when I know that I'll be able to do it. So, yeah. And one last thing. My eye kept hurting throughout the beginning of the day. It is much better, thank goodness. And even when I was doing my morning pages, because I am still doing those, I was mad. I was mad at my eye. I was actually insulting my eye in my morning pages. I was like, ugh, stupid eye, why do you have to hurt? Plants aren't evil, dummy. And then I just noticed that. I was like, oh wait, that's my eye. I'm insulting myself again. So then I hammed it up the other way. I was like, oh, you poor eye, you must be hurting so bad. Don't worry, I still love you. You're still a good eye. And then, I don't know if it was coincidence or whatever, but it actually stopped hurting after I did that. Yeah. I don't know. But, yeah. And then, like, later tonight, or earlier tonight, I guess, because it's, you know, later than that, I was just zoning out, you know, winding down for the night, and I was just looking at my arms. Because, like, I have had psoriasis on it for most of my life, and I guess I only ever really stared at that part. I only ever looked at the flaws. And I just took a second and I looked at, you know, the rest of my arm. And I was like, wait, this is me. This is my arm. And all of a sudden I started to feel like some protectiveness over it, like some ownership over myself, of like who I am. And then all of a sudden it's like, yeah, this is me. Like, I know I'm hard on myself a lot, but at the end of the day, I like me. I do. Like, regardless of what anyone else thinks, I wouldn't change who I am. So, a lot of things were very close to going wrong. A lot of high pressure, like action movie, bomb wire cutting type stuff. But I'm used to that. It's kind of my everyday thing. It's been a while since it was that tense, but like... And it was so funny watching the shock on my friends' faces after the game, and I was like, hey guys, guess what? This happened, like with the ticket situation. And they were like, I'm glad you didn't tell me. I'm like, yep, that's why I didn't. So, it's just funny. So, yeah, tomorrow? I forgot to go to the coffee shop again today, but I legitimately had no time. So, I don't know. But I have a specific movie planned for tomorrow, so I do want to watch that. Speaking of tomorrow, my only goal, I'll say, for tomorrow, my only intention is to just try and live every moment like how I would live it, you know? Like, not get so stressed about deadlines for this and grades for that and due dates and videos and whatever. Just like, yes, those are things I have to do. That's not all my life is. Like, I can dance while I work. I can imagine stupid things. Like, I can listen to old game soundtracks, which I love. But, like, finding the fun, more or less. Saying good morning to birds while I walk to class. Just being a Disney princess, I guess. So, yeah, that's the goal tomorrow, because, yeah, I can work under this pressure and not get crushed. I will acknowledge that it is a lot of pressure, and I'm glad that this will have a hard deadline, because this is not sustainable. But it's like a workout. It's like a hard workout. I can embrace it, I can sweat it out, and just like live it up. Soak all of this in the best I can. So, yeah, I haven't hit the 30 mark in a while. Yeah. I mean, that's that, and tomorrow's also going to be the last day of April. So yeah. Despite everything kind of going wrong today and yesterday, and for the most part still feeling pretty lethargic, I'm strangely very positive right now, so hopefully tomorrow goes well. And if it doesn't, hopefully I'll still be happy about it. Thank you for listening, and I will see you in log 96.